What up, what up, what up, what up? It's me, L Teddy 27.
What's good tonight? Right about the hood.
Oh, dear God, I'm already eating a drink. Look, a damn mess. Just a damn mess. No means no, and yes means no. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up? What's good, people? What's up? It's me. I'm L Teddy 27. Y'all know who I am. And I'm back. It is Sunday morning. We are back again for some fantasy football. This is going to be our NFL Fantasy Week 2, our fantasy must starts for Week 2 of the NFL season. And we are back yet again to give you some good stuff for you all to choose. Now, I told you all last week, every week make sure you watch to make sure who may be out or whatnot. I suspect that, in the coming weeks, maybe even starting this morning and this week, we're going to start to see some people, go out and be out or injured, IR, not IR, but at least be out because of COVID. So start to prepare for that. Always have your handicap and somebody, especially like a running back or somebody. Always have you somebody who who you're going to be able to either pick up on the waiver wire or already have sitting on your bench to start in lieu of somebody who may be out because of COVID. Because COVID is real and it's going to affect us this year. So be ready for that. Anyway, we're here this morning and we are ready to get some picks out of the way. Now, let's do it. Let's talk about it. Let's get right down to it. Y'all know I choose 2 quarterbacks, 2 tight ends, 3 wide receivers, 3 running backs, and a sleeper for each position. All right. And then we do our fantasies at the end. Gotta love the fantasies. Hope my tie looks right today. I don't know. Anyway, so let's do it. For our quarterbacks this week, we're going to go with Kirk Cousins of the Minnesota Vikings, and they are at Indianapolis, excuse me. And so I like Kirk Cousins to do well against that Indianapolis defense that isn't giving us much. I like to see. I think this will be a good week to start him. Okay, I'm not big on Kirk Cousins, but I think this is the week you want to start him. I like Jimmy G to bounce back as well this week. Jimmy Garoppolo, I like for him to have a bounce back game versus the New York Jets. If you're going to have a bounce back game versus anybody, the New York Jets are the people to have it against. So look for Jimmy. The New York Jets are not doing well against opposing quarterbacks, and that's going to be standard all year. So look for Jimmy G to have a bounce back week this week. Our sleeper quarterback is going to be Mitch Trubisky. Now, Mitch Trubisky, nobody likes Mitch Trubisky. Mitch Trubisky probably doesn't like himself and wouldn't draft himself on his own fantasy team. However, in a pinch, you need a quarterback. He's probably available on the waiver wire, and he's probably good enough to give you, I would say he might be good enough to give you about 15 points. And in a pinch, if you're just looking hard for a quarterback, you know what I'm saying? I take those 15 points, okay? So, and he's going up against the New York Giants, who the secondary is okay, but they only have really one DB that's any good, and so I figure Mitch Trubisky can do some things against that defense. So pick up Mitch Trubisky if you need a quarterback. He's our sleeper of the week, okay? For our tight ends, we're going with Jonnu Smith of the Tennessee Titans. And I'm sorry, Mitch Trubisky of Chicago is going to be at home versus the New York Giants, and Jimmy Garoppolo, he is away at the New York Jets. I said Mitch Trubisky is at home versus the New York Giants, and Jimmy Garoppolo is at the New York Jets. Okay. But for our tight ends, we have Jonnu Smith. Now, Jonnu Smith did well in week 1. Opened up a lot of eyes. I suspect that will continue in week 2 versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jaguars do not have a defense. I might be out there playing defense for Jacksonville. Okay. So the middle of the field will be open for Ryan Tannehill and the Tennessee Titans. And they will be at home versus Jacksonville. Okay. So start Jonnu Smith. Also, I got these two. My tight ends today are surprise names. I like Logan Thomas of the Washington team. Now, I don't know what they're naming themselves because they still don't have a name. But Washington will be at Arizona. Excuse me. They will be at Arizona. So I like Logan Thomas to make a difference in that game today versus Arizona. Okay. Look for Dwayne Haskins to use him early and often. My sleeper pick is going to be Evan Ingram of the New York Giants. Now, I know we're down on anything New York Giants, and I know Evan Ingram didn't show us a whole lot last week, but I got a hunch, and my hunches are never wrong, that they're going to need to shore up the middle of the field to open up some things outside. So I like Evan Ingram, and they're going to stack the box against Saquon Barkley. So if they're stacking the box against Saquon Barkley, that's going to open up some lanes in the middle for Evan Ingram. So I like Evan Ingram of the New York Giants, and he's going to be at Chicago. Okay. For our running backs this week, I'm sorry, Evan Ingram was our sleeper. Okay. For our running back this week, I like Ronald Jones II of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and they're going to be at home versus Carolina. Okay. Now I know you got Leonard Fournette out there at Tampa Bay, but Ronald Jones pretty much has secured the starting position at running back. So what you want to do is you want to start Ronald Jones for Tampa Bay. I know you got Tom Brady out there. I know y'all think Brady's just going to chuck it up all around the field. But Bruce Arians is going to keep it balanced, okay? Bruce Arians is going to keep it balanced. So I say Ronald Jones is going to be a good start for you this week. They're going to be at Carolina. Carolina did not show as much against the run last week. So until they show us something, let's figure that they're not going to be doing a whole lot versus the run. So start Ronald Jones, the second of Tampa Bay. And they're going to be at home versus Carolina. I like Todd Gurley of the Atlanta Falcons versus Dallas. And my 3 games this week, let me interrupt and tell you my 3 games this week. My 3 games this week that you want to start any of the skill positions is going to be that Atlanta at Dallas, that game, blowout. New Orleans at Las Vegas. Saints at the Raiders, that's going to be another shootout. And Washington at Arizona. I figured that to be a shootout. Not as much as the first 2. The first 2 are definites. You want to start any skill position from Dallas, Atlanta, New Orleans, or the Raiders. Start all of the skill positions for those 4 teams. But I think our sleeper breakout game this week will be Washington versus Arizona. Anyway, going back to my pick, Todd Gurley of Atlanta. I like him against Dallas. Dallas has never had a good defense. Dallas hasn't had a good defense since God was a child. So I'm not looking for them to have one now. Okay. Todd Gurley of Atlanta should do well. Should pick up this week and get those engines going against Dallas. And they're going to be away at Dallas. Then I like Jonathan Taylor of the Indianapolis Colts versus, and they're going to be at home versus Minnesota. Now, Marlon Mack is injured. And so that means a lot of touches for Jonathan Taylor, okay? My sleeper pick at running back this week is going to be Antonio Gibson of the Washington Redskins. Don't ask me why I got all these Redskins players. Who would have thunk it? But anyway, Antonio Gibson of the Washington Redskins, and they are away at Arizona. I told you that's my sleeper game for that could be a blowout game. Look, and like I said, he might not get it early on, but you'll see as the game progresses, he's gonna collect those yards. He's going to collect those yards on the ground, may even get you a touchdown or 2. If it's a sleeper pick at running back or receiver, if they get you 10 to 12 quality points, that's all you need on your fantasy team. That's all you're looking for a sleeper, from a sleeper. So look for Antonio Gibson to get you those points that you need. And he's for Washington, he's at home, not at home. He's away at Arizona. At our receiver position, our starts are CeeDee Lamb of the Dallas Cowboys. And that CD is spelled CeeDee. CeeDee Lamb of the Dallas Cowboys, and they are at home versus Atlanta. I told y'all that's all of the skill positions on the Cowboys and on the Falcons. You want to start them. CeeDee Lamb should give you quality points. I look for him to get you at least 15 this week, okay? He may even give you the beloved 100-plus receiving yards and a touchdown, which is great. Because in a lot of our leagues, you get the bonus if you get 100-plus yards at the receiver, running back. Anyway, I like Emmanuel Sanders of the New Orleans Saints. And they're away at the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, Michael Thomas has that high ankle sprain. They got to get, Drew Brees will get the ball out there. I like Emmanuel Sanders to be the recipient of some of those touches that may have gone to Michael Thomas. And I like Marquise Brown. I like what of the Baltimore Ravens. I like what he showed us last week, especially versus Houston, who doesn't have a secondary. I'm still looking for their secondary. out there in Houston. So I like Marquise Brown to have another big week. I like what he showed us last week, and I like for him to have another big week out there. And he's going to be the Baltimore Ravens will be away at Houston. Okay, so I like for him to do well. I also like him because Houston, the middle of the defense is pretty stout in Houston, but their secondary, they just don't have a secondary. So that's why I like Marquise Brown in that game. Our sleeper is going to be Paris Campbell of the Indianapolis Colts. He's going to be at home versus the Minnesota Vikings. Paris Campbell seems to be the go-to guy for Phillip Rivers because for some reason Phillip Rivers and T.Y. Hilton aren't on the same page yet. And sometimes, especially with older quarterbacks, once they get locked in on a certain receiver that they like, they don't deviate. And so Phillip Rivers seems to have a connection with Paris Campbell more so than he has with T.Y. Hilton. So my sleeper this week is going to be Paris Campbell of the Indianapolis Colts, and he's going to be at home versus the Minnesota Vikings. And those are our picks for this week. Let me know how they do for y'all. If you get broke off some cash, because these picks can also work if you're doing the FanDuel or DraftKings and stuff like that. Now, if you get broke off, break a bro off 10% for helping you out. You know what I'm saying? Get some money, break a bro off. Cash App will be in the description box. Anyway, and now for our favorite moment of the week. It's time for El Teddy 27's Fantasies. All right, so for our fantasies this week, our first fantasy is going to be a safety. It's going to be Terrell Edmonds for the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is some nice caramel chocolatey goodness here. Yes. Give y'all another moment to look at that. All right, and now y'all know I'm silly. And now our next fantasy for the week is going to be Will Fuller the fifth. Do not forget the fifth. And he's a wide receiver for the Houston Texans. I almost forgot what they are. Houston Texans. Now he is a light bright, and yet it was difficult for me to find a lot of shirtless pics. However, he's good enough to look at, even with clothes on. All of that light bright goodness. Another one with, I don't know if you would call those dreads or wigs or whatever the hell he got going on in his head. Every week you are surprised with what's going on in his hair. But anyway, he's still some goodness, something to pull on while, you're in bed in a romping hat. If you're having a romping hair, you can pull on that hair and stuff like that. Anyway, that is Will Fuller. All right, y'all. Well, that's our fantasy picks for this week. Hit me up in the comment section. Let me know if you have any questions for me about who to start, who to sit. Individual questions, shoot me an email and I will address it on the following week, or I might email you back if you need it that week right then and there. All right, that's all I got for y'all. Glad y'all are here with me. Thank y'all for coming. Y'all drive safely. I'm out.